See you again.
Brad must make this difficult split to win the Ron Tonkin Open here at Valley Lanes in Beaverton.
Save $1,000 on 1990 Caravans and make no payments till next year.
Only at Ron Tonkin Dodge.
Save $3,000 on 89 Dakota 4x4.
Come see our huge selection. Buy now and make no payments till 1990.
For a limited time only at Ron Tonkin Dodge.
Hey, come on, no way.
Ron Tonkin, the bottom line.
This is the whole idea behind this. New Robitussin DM Cough Relief in single doses. Now you can take it with you. Most nighttime cold medicines have 25% alcohol, but you can get relief without the alcohol. With new Robitussin Night Relief in cherry flavor for children and adults. All the relief without the alcohol.
Where's the orange juice? Here it is.
You know, this happens every year. You'd think we'd get a little more organized.
Through with this?
Voila.
That looks great. But don't even think you're done helping. Here, put those in there.
Done.
Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Grab the hors d'oeuvres. Ta-da!
Now, at your Portland Metro Toyota dealer, you can get 1990 trucks at 89 prices, like the 4x2 standard bed truck or the 4x4 extra cab SR5. New 1990 Toyota trucks at 1989 prices.
We got it right.
Save big on Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
We got it right.
Get a great deal on the 4x4 of the Year.
You want the best. You've got it right here.
Get the right deal now at your Portland Metro Toyota dealer.
KOIN TV, Portland, Vancouver. The #1 news station for Oregon and Southwest Washington. Newsroom 6 at 5.
Hundreds search on the ground and from the air, but Nathan Madsen is still missing in the Cascades.
An explosion under Broadway in Portland isn't as bad as first thought.
And Ray Summers falls backward in time. Good evening, I'm Mike Donahue.
I'm Shirley Hancock. Even infrared helicopter could not find Nathan Madsen today, but searchers are going to be out there until 9 o'clock this evening.
Peter Murphy and photographer Gary Connie joined the searchers today and found even frigid temperatures did not deter the hundreds trying to find the little cowboy.
Helicopters beat a path through the sky, searching for heat with infrared sensors. They expected body temperature to help yield clues to the location of 9-year-old Nathan Madsen of Veneta. He disappeared while rounding up cattle near Chemolt.
So until we get some information, we can't do anything. So if you all can just be patient with us. As soon as something starts happening, we'll get going.
Volunteer searchers had to hurry up and wait while the Army helicopters searched for signs of life. Hundreds of people had turned out to help with the rescue effort. This is a level of commitment that some of these searchers are showing. Despite a number of days of poor weather and limited hopes of success, more searchers are showing up to continue the effort. Horses are playing a key role in the search, and their riders are given detailed instructions about how and where to search.
We went back to this section right here, and we're putting people elbow to elbow, a massive foot search through here. The bogs are really bad down through here. And with the snow cover, you can't take the horses. It's too dangerous. We don't want it. We're really turning every fur bough out of here.
Despite the intensive effort, there was no sign of the boy or his horse. Search leaders are disappointed they haven't located him. And the search effort shows no sign of winding down despite sub-freezing conditions.
We got smoke jumpers going in from this basin to here, and these are the experts. They're hitting the top of the rocky ridge. We got special forces going in here.
If anything, this search shows signs of continuing to grow. I'm Peter Murphy reporting for Newsroom 6.
An underground electrical fire disrupted activity in downtown Portland this morning. Around 9:30, smoke was seen coming from beneath Broadway in front of the Bank of California building. Fire crews set up a line around the immediate area. Office workers in nearby buildings were told to keep their windows closed. Then the smoke thickened. It It appeared the fire was growing. Concern for safety pushed the crowd control another block in each direction.
Everybody to the next block, please. Everybody, next block.
Electrical fires in underground vaults are the responsibility of the utility companies, in this case, Pacific Power and Light.
Fight an electrical fire other than just shut it off.
When the smoke had decreased, PP&L crews entered the vault. Firefighters stood by for safety. Concern was over PCBs, but there were none. The fire had burned insulation and damaged several components.
It's cleared itself right now. There's nobody that was out of any lights or anything else, and it's part of the system that we've got in the downtown area. It's a Cadillac system, you know, that's what we call it. So so if you have a problem, it clears itself, it isolates itself, and its business is normal.
Several lanes of Broadway were blocked the rest of the day. Electrical service was not disrupted, and fortunately, nobody was injured. An oil company tanker truck apparently suffered a mechanical problem this morning and spilled part of its cargo into a residential street. Less than 50 gallons spewed into the street at Southeast 39th and Brooklyn. The cleanup effort involved another truck into which the oil was transferred, and Rydell Environmental Services, which spread sand and a chemical to dry the oil. A DEQ spokesman said the piping underneath the tanker might be the culprit. An investigation this weekend by Pioneer Oil will determine the exact cause of that spill.
Charles Jordan has returned to Portland. The former city commissioner ended his 5-year term in Austin, Texas, and is now the acting Portland Park superintendent. As Mark Sanchez reports, Jordan says he might have come back even without the job offer.
So for my family and I, we are coming home, and we're very excited about that.
So are many others. Jordan accepts the job on a temporary basis beginning December 1st. He'll earn no less than $63,000 a year, taking over a park bureau with dozens of employees, with 250 facilities and a fistful of future projects. Jordan returns after running the park system in Austin, Texas the past 5 years. The mayor and city manager there are sorry to lose Jordan. They claim at most he had only minimal involvement with a troubled museum project down there. Surprisingly, the road back to Portland was bumpy. First, Mayor Clark balked at having a potential re-election opponent back in town. He even talked about taking over the Parks Bureau. Then there's the job offer itself. It's a civil service post open to all applicants, but many wonder if the job's wired. Could Mike Lindbergh seriously bring his friend all the way from Texas, only to have Jordan face the prospect of being jobless and homeless in Portland?
I believe that there will be people that will apply. We will advertise nationally. Charles will go through a competitive exam and an interview.
And Lindbergh says the city will pay the job winners' moving expenses. $20,000 we've heard. It's probably less.
This park system is a winner. It's not a loser. And so we don't have to go to people with our hat in hand. We go taking something to the table.
Jordan intends to solicit money from private industry. He'll need it to pay for an ambitious $90 million program of future park expansion and maintenance. Safety, controlling expenses, new programs also figure into Jordan's plans, and so might future elective office.
What if they fire me? I can't say it's an unconditional commitment, but it is not my plan to run for office the next time around, for mayor the next time around.
Jordan is already talking like the park's job is permanently his, and no one is contradicting. Mark Sanchez, Newsroom 6.
Oregon's Legislative Emergency Board today allocated $224,000 to pay for the Special Corrections Department investigation. Governor Goldschmidt ordered that probe last month in the wake of reports about possible corruption. The investigation will also try to determine if there is wrongdoing within the Corrections Department that might be linked to the January murder of Director Michael Franke. That report is due in mid-December.
A third man accused in a racial beating death in Portland last year pleaded guilty today to manslaughter. Facing murder charges, Stephen Strasser pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter and second-degree assault for his part in the murder of Mulugeta Sarau. Strasser's attorney argued his client did not swing the baseball bat that killed Sarau, but was busy fighting a friend of the victim. Strasser's plea ends the criminal case. Earlier this year, Kenneth Miskey and Kyle Brewster were convicted and sentenced to prison. Strasser's admission could mean a 9 to 20-year term in prison.
1 year ago today, Glenda Sobolik was on an operating table in San Francisco about to receive the liver transplant that would eventually save her life. Her boyfriend, Andy Clark, was nearby in terrible pain, waiting for a new liver of his own. Both had eaten poisonous death cap mushrooms. Mark Hendricks tonight tells us about their ordeal and the months that followed.
Glenda Sobolik at the beginning of a new phase of her life, the day after she'd received a new liver at the University of California, San Francisco.
Pretty good. A lot better.
A year later, she's back at her desk at Baxter Healthcare of Wilsonville, only dimly aware of what happened back then. She did realize she was desperately ill.
But I really have to say I was never afraid. And by then I hurt so bad that I was ready for them to do something.
She says her health is 99% restored. The powerful anti-rejection drugs do take a toll. And she has a new attitude about her job.
Before my accident, it was like, another day I gotta go to work. Oh boy. But now I wake up just really refreshed and I get to go to work today.
Andy Clark was in much worse shape than Glenda 1 year ago today. He was still waiting, in agony.
Oh, hurts. Nah, can't stand that. I don't want to go for this. Go through this. It so hurts.
I don't know, I didn't recognize I was talking to you because I was so pain. You know, I didn't know I got an interview in the TV. I don't know how I did it.
Today, Andy is healthy, the swelling in his abdomen replaced by a pattern of scars he calls his Mercedes sign. Andy says he worried constantly about his mother, Isun Pak, who also ate the mushrooms and also underwent transplant surgery. She's alive and well now, as is Teresa Duncan, the fourth mushroom poisoning victim. 1 year later, and counting. Mark Hendricks reporting for Newsroom 6.
Good stories.
Oh, certainly.
Coming up next, the Philadelphia 76ers make sports news here in Portland.
And we're going to learn what's on the other side of 29 years of cooking, baking, and cleaning for high school kids.
Okay, now put in the rollaway.
Over here.
Think innovation. Think style. Now think true Mazda value, because now's the time to rethink Link. Come into John Link Mazda and see the thrilling Mazda lineup for 1990, featuring the Protege, Mazda's spacious, luxurious new compact sedan. At John Link Mazda, you'll find 10 from which to choose, starting at $99.90. In 1990, more than ever, when the competition is steep, we compete. John Link Mazda, where I-205 meets McLaughlin in Oregon City.
Attention, please. Smith's Home Furnishings will be closed Friday.
Closed to markdown prices for our annual fall clearance sale.
Shop 9 to 9 on Saturday for incredible low prices like these.
A deluxe General Electric washer for just $347. This heavy-duty GE washer is large capacity with 2 speeds and dependable GE quality, now just $347.
Plus, no payments and no interest until May.
Saturday, 9 till 9 during the annual fall clearance sale at all Smith's Home Furnishings.
Okay, honey, they'll be here any minute.
Just about finished.
Anything else?
I hope not. I know how you get when we forget anything.
What's that?
I said, I don't want to forget anything.
They're here.
I'll be right there.
Whether you're taking a trip or staying at home, you can get the best prices on the brands you trust at Fred Meyer.
Hi, Mom and Dad, you look great.
How do you do it? You little whippersnapper. During Hyundai's Full House Clearance, your dealer has a little number you'll never see again. 5224. A well-equipped Excel for just $52.24 after factory rebate. With variable intermittent wipers, rear defroster, room for 5, 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, more standard features than any car in its class. It's the most affordable, best value in America. And we've got loads of them. So take a number.
Newsroom 6 Sports, sponsored by Les Schwab Tires.
Candlestick Park is filled with baseball fans again, and in 1/2 hour, millions will watch on TV Game 3 of the World Series.
A lot of people excited about that. Its run, of course, was canceled by the California quake. Rick Metzger is standing by with some folks who are waiting for the big game. Rick, is it still on time?
I tell you what, the fans are starting to pour in here at downtown Portland Sports Bar.
looking for a very odd sight on the television set. Perhaps you can't remember baseball going on. The longest World Series in history. We've been delayed 11 days between day 2 and day 3 of this series. Of course, tonight it will be Dave Stewart on the mound for Oakland, Scott Gurelt's on the mound for the Giants, and in case you don't remember, the A's lead the series 2-0. But not everyone will be glued to the tube tonight watching baseball. The Philadelphia 76ers are in town to challenge the Portland Trail Blazers in the Blazers' final home exhibition game of this preseason. And this is a big news day for 76er fans. This afternoon, they acquired power forward Rick Mahorn from Minnesota. Now, Mahorn had boycotted the Minnesota camp and left for Italy. Philadelphia surrenders big rounds, a #1 pick and 2 second-rounders. Who got the best deal?
For our long-term progress, we felt a 31-year-old player who is admittedly a good player doesn't have the value of a choice that could be in the top half of the draft this year, the top half of the first round, plus 2 other choices coming up.
Okay, that's one man's opinion. What about Philadelphia? They got an old man for 3 young players. We're with Philadelphia head coach Jimmy Lynam, has his team in town for the Trailblazers. What's your opinion? Is Mahorn too old of a man for your club?
Well, obviously, no, Rick, we don't think so. Hopefully, it's the type of deal that's going to benefit both teams. Timberwolves, an expansion team looking for youth. We feel we need some added front court depth to play with people in the East like the Celtics and the Knicks.
You talked earlier to me this morning about you had a lot of young players. Perhaps Mr. Mahorn will add that seasoned veteran look that you've been looking for.
Well, that's certainly our hope. I mean, I think it's evident what he did for the Detroit Pistons over the past couple of seasons and what he added to their front court, particularly from the defensive aspect of the game. And to compete with the likes of the Detroit Pistons, the Atlanta Hawks were both very physical teams. We felt we needed additional depth in the front court.
What about your club this year? How do you think they're going to shape up?
Well, we like our first group, Rick. It's we've suffered a bit in some of these preseason games with a lack of depth. It was a problem for us last year, and we'd like to think over these past couple of days in acquiring Kurt Nymphius, who's a veteran, experienced player, front court player, and Rick Mahorn, that maybe we've satisfied some of those problems.
Hey, tell me something. When you're not coaching basketball, do you ever play any golf?
On occasion.
I tell you, the richest golf event of the PGA Tour, in fact, the final one of the PGA Tour, is underway right now on Hilton Head, South Carolina. $450,000 goes to the winner, so at least the victor doesn't have to put range balls into his basket to keep them full. Tom Kite right now is flying high. He fired a 7-under par 65 today. As a result of that, he stands at 8-under par for the tournament. It will all wind up on Sunday. And of course, once again, almost $500,000 will go to the winner. Here's one for you. What happens when the top-ranked team in high school football at the AAA ranks and the #1 ranked team in the Class A ranks has an open date and they can't find anybody to play them? That's right. And it's going to happen tonight in Ashland. Ann Schatz has that story.
Okay, David, bring on Goliath. Salem Academy, the state's #1 Class A team, takes on big, bad Ashland tonight. The Grizzlies, #2 in AAA. Oh, my, what a mismatch, on paper anyway. Now, why on earth would Frank Bain send his kids out to the Lions? Well, playing Ashland is better than a week off, and truth be known, Salem Academy has nothing to lose.
And they're looking at it like we do. They would rather have a game than have a bye right at this time of the year. So, no, I don't think our kids feel like there's anything that they have to prove.
And what better way for the defending champs to prepare for the upcoming playoffs? The Crusaders know that for once they're the underdogs, and they kind of like it.
When you're going up against a team like this and trying to take over, saying, that we're better, we can beat them, we're the underdogs, we can beat them, it's a different attitude. It's like, we'll get out on them fast, we'll prove to them that we're not slouches. So.
Get those slingshots loaded, Crusaders. Ashland is waiting. Ann Schatz, Newsroom 6 Sports.
That should be a good one, but Jim and I are going to head over to the Coliseum and watch his 76ers take on the Blazers.
Enjoy yourself. Thank you, Rick.
Teachers and staff members at Grant High School said goodbye to an old friend today. As Kim Sherwood reports, it's the price of progress.
They eat about, 30 trays, 30 dozen, 40 dozen a day.
For 29 years, Edith Price has been baking for faculty and staff members at Grant High School and giving each a little tender, loving care. This is her world.
She makes good buns and pies.
She knows lemon pie is my favorite, and I asked her, where's the lemon pie, Edith? And she says, oh, I can't make that for a couple of weeks. It's too much work. Came down the next day for lunch, and there it was.
Today was Edith's last day in the kitchen. Her friends and fans wanted it to be special. They made her queen for the day and honored her at a retirement breakfast.
Like a captain on a ship of dough, her orders loud she gave. By my breath,
Eat this food! Who stole those cups? You teachers must behave!
She got lots of smiles and gifts, including a Grant High School letter sweater.
Did you get the extra large?
Increasing costs for labor and food mean individual bakers like Edith are a dying breed.
We used to make all our own cookie dough and dip up the cookies and bake them here. And now they send in the cookies from the Central Kitchen. But we did everything. There was 18 girls here in the kitchen, and now they're down to 5.
Efficiency has required the school district to consolidate baking into its Central Kitchen operation.
It does not lend itself to customerizing our product like we used to be able to, and Edith will be missed here at Grant because we just won't have that personal touch that we've had in the past.
Edith plans to turn her skills and energy to volunteer work now, and her old pals will miss her.
And so things change, but memories last, and there's no question about it. People at Grant High School will remember Edith Price for a long time. She made her mark. I'm Kim Sherwood, reporting for Newsroom 6.
Those chocolate chip cookies will never be the same.
Great.
Next, Phil Volker says our weekend will be worth the wait.
And Dr. Dina Dell will give us an idea that may end drug use in the gym and on the ball field.
Why can't they make a stronger flea collar?
Someone has. Scratch-X. Look, compared to Hearts and Sergeants, Scratch-X has the power to kill twice as many fleas. Compare. All these collars kill fleas, but Scratch-X has the power to kill twice as many fleas, since it's government approved to work twice as long.
Yet Scratch-X is safe for 3-month-old pets.
Remember, compared to Hearts and Sergeants' 5-month collars, the Scratch-X 11-month collar has the power to kill twice as many fleas.
Winter driving in the West, it's very real and can happen at any time. No matter what your traction needs are, getting there to having fun, look to the sign that looks out for you. Les Schwab, all seasons and traction radials are best selection ever. And if you drive a pickup, van, or RV, an exciting new lineup for winter. New tread designs, your favorite names like Wild Country, Open Country, Pathfinders, Trail Diggers, Broncos. Winter driving, it starts here at the Les Schwab sign.
We're here at the Northeast Y. Well, Brad pumps himself up. Take a look at these heavyweight values.
We're clearing out the 89s at Ron Tonkin Prestige Lincoln Mercury. 2-door Mercury Tracers, only $129 a month. 2-door Mercury Topaz GSs, only $159 a month. Buy your new car, make no payments till $19.90 at Ron Tonkin Prestige Lincoln Mercury.
Nice job. Next time we'll move it up to 20 pounds.
Ron Tonkin, the bottom line.
Hurry! Having a heart attack.
Pain started about 2 hours ago, so we're busy. The left coronary artery is
The patient has nitroglycerin and just
The Heart Emergency Network has been created to provide a highly organized and advanced response to heart attacks in Oregon and Southwest Washington.
What's happened? We got him here in town.
For more information, call the Providence Heart Center, 230-6510.
The artery looks open.
It is about time.
Dr. Dina Dell's Medical Report is brought to you by Providence Medical Center and the Heart Emergency Network.
After a big sports weekend, many athletes will submit to drug tests. Dr. Dina Dell reports a way to test the whole team at once.
Team spirit. That's what we're taught sports is supposed to be about. But in these days of multi-million-dollar contracts for star players, college scholarships for future sports stars, lucrative contracts for advertising products, and the dream of Olympic fame, that team spirit is sometimes sidelined by drugs. From Olympic medal winners to professional athletes to high school jocks, drugs to enhance performance are tempting. Drugs that pump them up, bulk them up, speed them up. Drug testing in sports has become common practice, and both pro and amateur athletes are being suspended for illegal drug use. But still, it goes on. Now comes a doctor from Idaho who's recommending in the Journal of the American Medical Association that drug testing in sports take a different tack. Listen to this. Instead of testing the individual player, how about testing the team collectively? That is, combine all the urine samples after a winning game. And if the combined sample shows any drugs, the team automatically loses the competition. All individual records in the game, though, would stand. The good doctor believes that this collective team urine testing would increase peer pressure among players. and public pressure to clean up the drug problem in sports. Other experts familiar with athletic drug testing agree with the idea that it could give renewed meaning to team spirit. I'm Dr. Dean Adele.
If you're going to be traveling in the mountains this week, Oregon's Transportation Department is allowing the use of studded tires effective immediately.
It's a good idea. A lot of snow up in the Cascades as well as in the Blues and the Wallowas, even some snow showers over in places like John Day, Burns, Baker, all picking up light snow even down at Klamath Falls.
Winter.
So winter is here. A very cool day across the Pacific Northwest with lots of weather around the region. Quite a variety on both sides of the Cascades. We continue to see some isolated thunder showers here and there, and also a little bit of partial clearing, and of course the snow over the Cascades. That's here in the Pacific Northwest. The rest of the country enjoying some fairly nice weather. The exception being Idaho. Tonight they have a winter storm warning in effect for locally heavy snows in areas above 4,000 feet. They've already had a lot of snow today, up to a foot in some areas, and more coming up tonight and tomorrow. Also across the plains today, down in Texas, picking up some very active thunder showers along this cold front, the most active of which appear to be down in the western portions of Texas. Strong winds, heavy rains, and the usual with the typical thunder showers. From there to the Atlantic coast, though, conditions are very, very nice. Sunny days and warm temperatures again today. In fact, record-setting high temperatures over the Great Lakes states today. Here are a few high temperatures from across the country. 67 today in Minneapolis, St. Paul. A record high 72 in Sault Ste. Marie. 74 in Cleveland. 75 in the nation's capital. Up in the New England states, 76 in Boston today. 79 Oklahoma City. 80 in San Antonio. 57 today in Salt Lake City. 47 today over in Boise, and 63 and rather windy down in the Bay Area, at least this afternoon. Now, our morning low temperatures mostly in the 30s and 40s. The coolest 30 degrees at Burns and Redmond are 45 degrees, one of the warmest around the region. 42 Vancouver, and also 42 to the north in Seattle. Temperatures tonight, though, will be much, much cooler. Around the metro area today, yesterday we had a record rainfall amount, 67/100ths of an inch. Well, today the rainfall began to taper off, but still a third of an inch officially in the city. A thunderstorm dropped 62/100ths of an inch out in Camas today. Our morning low temperatures in the 40s and afternoon highs mostly in the 50s today, 55 officially and 56 over in Vancouver. Tonight's satellite picture still shows a lot of clouds lingering across the northwest. Still some of those showers holding on. We'll see those showers ending tonight. There is higher pressure out to the west, which will push inland tomorrow. The problem with that, we are going to see the fog forming in the western valleys with only partial afternoon clearing tomorrow, more clearing on Sunday, and warmer temperatures. But the big news, of course, it will be a dry weekend coming up. Now, here's the outdoor watch, clearing and cold east side, and we'll see the dense valley fog for the western valleys and also along the coast. And I'll tell you more right after this.
Brought to you by Geo. Get to know Geo, sold and serviced by Chevrolet Geo dealers.
In the world of sporty imports, there was Toyota, then Honda. But today, there's something new, Geo Storm. It's going to hit with an aggressive stance, an eager multi-port fuel-injected engine, and four-wheel independent suspension. Get to know the new Geo Storm. It's rolling in now. And it's just around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Our forecast for tomorrow, certainly a drier day. We will see a dense morning fog along the coast and in the western valleys with partial afternoon clearing. 53 down at Eugene, 54 Longview. Fair over the Cascades tomorrow with the freeze level going up to 6,000 feet. Mostly sunny east side, 41 Burns, 44 Baker, and we'll see some light snow continuing in the Blues and the Wallowas. Forecast locally, partial clearing tonight with fog forming late. Lows 40 to 44, but locally upper 30s. Tomorrow, cloudy or foggy with afternoon clearing. Highs 53 to 57, and about the same on Sunday. The weekend should shape up to be very nice, certainly drier. But again, watch out for the fog if you're traveling in the valley.
Thanks for the warning.
You bet.
When we come back, it's time to get out the instruction manual.
The ones that came with your digital watch or your grandfather clock. This is the weekend we standardize time.
Courtesy Ford is Ford Truck Headquarters because our business is saving you money. The 1990s are here. Save now with cash back up to $1,250 and prices as low as $69.95 on tough Ford trucks. Save more on remaining new '89 Ford trucks, Rangers, F-Series, Broncos, and Aerostars. Hundreds of new trucks to choose from and thousands of dollars to save at Courtesy Ford, your Ford Truck Headquarters, where?
Our business is saving you money.
At Courtesy Ford.
BP has just participated with BMW in a rigid test of gasolines. I mean, they were really finicky. And new high-octane BP Super passed BMW's official test for lifetime intake valve cleanliness. Of course, you don't have to drive a BMW to take advantage of BP Super. It would be nice. BP has a new BMW available to give away every week in the BP Super license plate jackpot. Check your station's weekly winners list for your license plate number.
Here's what real people say about Burlington Coat Factory.
I like the prices at Burlington. They're great.
Prices at Burlington are lower than you can find at any department store.
I have never seen as many coats under one roof than I've seen here.
I've shopped at other stores in the area, and I find that Burlington seems to have the best prices around.
Come to Burlington Coat Factory not only for their great clothes, but for their great discount prices. It's fantastic.
You can't find a better price. You can find everything here. It is a complete department store.
We just moved here. I had to buy dishes, cookware, appliances, even whatchamacallits. Found it all at one store. Great brands, low prices too. Of course, you live here. You know the store.
Mom, where's my red sweater?
In your closet, in the Rubbermaid organizer.
Which one?
Middle shelf, on the right, second from the top.
How does she do that?
Remember, Saturday night is the night of clocks. Daylight saving time returns to standard time.
Which means the clock stands still for 1 hour, causing some confusion for Ray Summers.
Set it back an hour.
This is the weekend of confusion, the one where the clocks get changed, hopefully. When at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, the hour by legal edict turns into another. The old saying is spring ahead, fall back. At the Cobb Clock Shop, Mr. Shea does not like the word back.
There are a lot of old clocks that cannot be returned backwards. When you turn them backwards, they break the pin off that is used to lift it up to make it strike. They snap it right off, and then that's it.
Despite the fact he repairs clocks, Mr. Shea does not like people to break them needlessly. So sometime Saturday or Sunday, the change will come to the big clocks and the little clock, the analog and the digital, each set according to the wearer's understanding as to the correct time. If you wonder how correct everybody is, just listen on Sunday. Those electronic wonders strapped to people's wrists let you know how slightly out of step we are. What do you hear in the quiet of meditation around the top of the hour? Several minutes of not-so-precise precision. In office boardrooms, it is the same. Or memorial services and classrooms during tests. My fear is one day, by chance, all these clock wearers, clock setters, clock watchers accidentally will synchronize their timepieces. Perhaps it will be this Sunday morning. Ray Summers at large.
This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. Efforts to find out the truth about corruption inside HUD hit a stone wall today. Former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Sam Pierce took the fifth. He invoked his constitutional rights against self-incrimination and again refused to tell congressional investigators what he knows about mismanagement and corruption.